Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today we want to talk a little bit about coin grading and coin dating. And so, what you need to know about how to make a decision on whether or not to get a coin graded is a lot like knowing, how to date. I mean, at first you look and you say, okay, we're going to go ahead and say, well, that's not even real, so we're going to swipe on left on that one. This one's just like too low grade, not really going to be in our wheelhouse. We're going to go ahead and swipe and go to that one. But as you start to get down to coins that you want to grade, that you may want to grade, you have to start looking a little bit closer. Just like maybe you decided to go on a date. At first, you're like, okay, this is really great. I'm really liking this girl here. And then, at just the first date, you're like, this is great. I'm gonna send this coin in to get graded, and I'm really liking it. And you tell your buddies about this coin you got and how great it is. Now, one of the things I suggest you do is actually separate them into piles of coins that you think you're going to get graded, and then don't look at them again for a week, and then come back and look again. One of the things that you've seen me make mistakes on this channel, and things that I do because I'm human, is I will look quickly and I'll be like, I love it, I'm doing it, it's going. So, but you need to always look a little bit closer, because lots of times a coin that at first blush looks like a great coin that you would get graded, when you look a little bit closer, you find out no. Also, I recommend that as you go through and you figure out a coin that you don't want to get graded, that if for some reason you put it in the do not grade pile, that you maybe write a note on there of why you're not going to get it graded. So maybe it's not until the third date that you go and you realize that she's been married 3 times, and then all of a sudden you get some red flags. So each of these coins that I have left here are coins that have coins that I had considered getting graded, and upon further inspection, I said, you know what, I'm not getting this graded, and this is why. And one of the things about putting notes on coins that's important is because there's some coins here that I probably looked to get graded 2 or 3 times, because every time I looked at it, I was like, that's a great coin. I'm going to go ahead and get that graded. And so we're going to go look a little closer at these. We're going to be dating these coins right now and being critical a little bit about what we see, because we're in it for the long haul. So this guy here, this really lovely proof cameo Franklin. So at most angles, the coin looks, look at that, like, what? I'm in love. All right, so this is a little different than the other coins in the series, because when I get it at this angle, obviously you can see that big spot on Ben's head there. So there it is, it stands out really big. So this coin, actually, if you really like the coin, you could send it in to try to get it conserved, right? So you can go to marriage counseling ahead of time and maybe work things out. But just from experience, that big thick white spot on there, that's probably still not going to come off. Still not going to come off. So it's just a lovely coin. The best you can hope for if you own the coin is to have that neutralized so that it's not growing anymore. But and it's also not the type of coin that's valuable enough to where you're going to want to spend a lot of money on getting it certified and conserved, certified and conserved. So, but at first blush, that coin is just a winner, and then you look a little closer and you're not so sure. All right, next let's go ahead and look at this half cent that I pulled up right away and see if any of you caught what it was that's the problem on this coin. And there's something similar on one of these dollars that I want to point out. Once you get it going and you take a closer look, we're going to look at that cheek, all right? Now the cheek has actually been smoothed out. I'm going to see if we can get a look with the 20 power. It's a nice enough coin. It's not super rare, but it's a nice enough coin that, I was thinking about just getting it certified on the cheap, the economy service. But that cheek actually has had a little bit too much plastic surgery for my dating preferences. So let's see here. Right there, you can see it. Okay, once the light gets on it, it really shows. Now I know that's a little blurry, but there you go. On the cheek up to the ear, somebody smoothed out the surface, and tried to get rid of whatever mark was on there. So, you might want to just go ahead and note This has a, a smoothed cheek, and make sure that you remember why you're not sending that one in to get certified. Here's another Ben Franklin. And some of you have seen in the past where I have made this mistake where I took a coin and I completely missed a wheel mark. So the wheel mark on this, as you turn the coin in the light, it's really lustrous. Now you'll see all of a sudden this like flare up over here above the R in dollar. See that quick change in light right there? That is a wheel mark. That is from going through something. Look at those just lines that pop up straight across. And I've had coins that I sent in and I missed the wheel mark on. So wheel mark, I don't have the right pen with me here. Oh, grab this. This isn't going to work, but let's see how it works here. Wheel. Let's put a wheel on there. Wheel. All right. So now we got some dollars that are pretty coins. Pretty stunning, this 1890S. Same thing with this coin as with the last. You've got some little areas that pop up. When you're just looking at the coin at first, you're like, that's just a great coin. Nice uncirculated example, 1890S. And then you look at it a little bit closer, or you catch it in the light just right. And so you kind of have to look at the whole surface of the coin as you move it around and see if you see where it starts to pop up and be a problem. On this coin, it is right back here, which once again, if you're just turning it, you don't notice it until you get it at just the right angle, right there. Now get ready to watch those lines right here, appear and disappear. Gone, there, gone. So, and we'll look a little closer up to see if we can get the camera work here and see how hard it is. There they are. They just kind of appear out of nowhere once you get that right angle in the light. And it's something that it affects the overall grade and value of the coin. And, you just need to be aware of when you look at it that you've got those, I'm going to call that one hairlines because it's maybe not a wheel mark per se. Now, one of the ones that this is to me one of the trickiest ones, and some of you who are really good with coins, you can look at this and maybe you agree with me and maybe you don't. Because this is a tough date, 1902 Philly. Hard to get a nice coin, a nice 63 coin or higher is going to just be really expensive. Now, sometimes people use the term coin doctor a little bit too loosely. Because to me, you still actually have legitimate concerns for things that are, conservation. You're actually saving the coin and doing it justice. And this coin, now as we keep looking at it, I'm going to see if you see what I see. Do you see the H on her cheek at this angle, right? When you're just looking at the coin in general, like if you're just playing with it a little bit, it's lovely. Now that you see the H on her cheek, it's there. You can see it a little bit like that. You can see it a little bit like that. Now you guys tell me what you think that is. Okay, because I think that they are actual marks that have been professionally removed or doctored. That's what I think they are. And it's hard to tell because for the most part, they were able to do it without disrupting the luster. One of the main things you can see on a coin that's been doctored is you can see when the luster is changed. It's just gone. Something is amiss. Something is awry. But I believe that coin actually has had the cheek worked on, very professionally. That's what I think. Now, some of you can tell me if you think otherwise. This is going to be the big disagreement. That's the one that you almost got engaged to and married, and then finally, you listened to one of your uncles who said, you know what? Let me tell you about her. All right, so that one's really, really tricky. And then last but not least, I got one more to show you, which is super hard to. This one, like I should have wrote on it right away what it was that I saw that made me say not to send it in, because it is overall a nice looking 1890S Morgan. You know, it's got great luster. You know, it's like a lot of 1890S Morgans. You know, this is the true American girl here. She's got a little bit of a heavy contact mark there. But the front, the obverse, looks really fantastic. And it's very, very hard to even capture and see the hairlines that I saw on this coin. They go right down the cheek and towards that first star. But, you know, you can't see them at all at almost any light angle. And in fact, I'm not even capturing them here in video. As I'm showing this, you're probably like, okay, I want that coin. Because it's a pretty nice looking coin. Yeah, I tried earlier to get the hairlines on this coin to show up. With my setup here, I was not successful, and I'm still not successful. So this is the one that slips through and you get married anyways. And then maybe later on when it comes back, it's just a divorce waiting to happen. But under different lighting that I had, there was super fine lines that were running over the surface here. And I knew that they weren't dye polished because they were actually in the field and over the cheek. If it was dye polished, it would be in the field and come to a stop where the cheek is. So that's generally how you tell dye polish versus other hairline and cleaning. So, but it reminds me a lot of a coin that I got back not too long ago that they called it cleaned, and there's just these little fine hairlines on it. So anyway, guys, so be careful when you're out there in the dating world. It can be a hot mess. You can be deceived pretty easy, and you've all hopefully learned a little bit from my mistakes in the past, and hopefully you won't make the same mistakes that I have. And thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can leave your comments down below, and subscribe by clicking on the owl button. Thanks for watching.